Welcome back to Daily Persuasion. I am Josh Lisec, the New York Times bestselling author and co-author and ghostwriter of more than 90 nonfiction book titles. In Daily Persuasion, I spend a few minutes every day culling the headlines and curating from my own life's work incredibly useful persuasion lessons you can use the very same day to influence the VIPs in your life. Now, I want to share with you a little sequence of events on the various Trump persuasion techniques that are in the news. Now, this goes back to the story about Gaza and President Donald Trump's announcement in front of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Bibi Netanyahu that the United States would be taking over Gaza and renaming it Magaza. No, that didn't happen, but part of it did. And there was a series of posts on the X platform, formerly Twitter, that I wanted to read to you. And don't worry, I'll give plenty of credit because I thought they were profound lessons. And whenever I see stuff that's dropped, good stuff, I want to pick it up and give it straight to you. Thank you for subscribing to the show. At OOH_Mao, Mao, maybe, said, so Trump threatens to turn Gaza into a resort and casino. That didn't happen, but just follow. Lindsey Graham and Mark Kelly, two senators, Republican and Democrat respectively, lose their minds. 24 hours later, and Egypt and Jordan are falling all over themselves to rebuild it. And that's how it's done, kids. At RC Arnold 1 replied to that and said, the Cliff Notes? Trump, I'm tired of this. If you don't fix it, I will, and you won't like my solution. That's dad energy. I like that a lot. And quote posting, the original post was at ESR Tweet, who said, I feel stupid now. I need to stop underestimating Trump. Dang it. And then we have at Devon _Eriksen _. Now, Devon Eriksen was famously canceled from the self-published science fiction contest for his conservative opinions, values, and beliefs. His book had recently been entered into one of the self-published competitions there, and he was canned, allegedly, over violation of the terms of service, terms of agreement, the code of conduct that's demanded. Of course, no explanation as to why or how his entry, the book, had affected the code or broken the code or anything like that. And as a result of being accused of being a fascist, and if you've read So Good They Call You a Fascist, my new ebook, you understand what happens next. Devon was called, he was outed as this horrible, evil fascist. Oh, we can't associate it with him. This is the affluent white female liberal mindset. And that includes men, by the way, liberal men. As a result, there was a boycott, a massive boycott, and co-marketing campaign of all of the authors of one another's books who pulled out of the contest in support of Devon Eriksen, and they had the best sales numbers that they have ever had. And then Devon, as a result, his book, Theft of Fire, became the top best-selling science fiction book on Amazon, beating out Dune. Incredible content. Now, we bring up Devon because Devon quote posted this entire chain of conversation that I've just read to you in the last 3.5-ish minutes here. And Devon's post was incredible, and I want to read it to you, and I want to share. Now, make sure you go follow at Devon _Eriksen _. He is so good they call him a fascist. Don't imagine Trump as a 4D chess player. That's the wrong metaphor. Imagine him instead as a fencer. He has a sword, which is a very simple tool with a very simple purpose. Pointy in goes in the other guy. Then remember this Bruce Lee quote. I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. That's Trump. Now, what I love about this post is he uses two metaphors to teach you something, two unrelated metaphors that give you a fuller understanding. It's triangulating a topic, which is Trump's negotiation technique. Why is Trump this way? So we have one topic. Why does Trump negotiate this way? To triangulate is to have two other perspectives that they together form like a triangle, right? You see that? There's Trump and then the other two things. So now we have three. It's a triangle, right? It's called triangulation. At how to understand or to corner a topic. He's using these metaphors. The first metaphor is fencing, and then Bruce Lee 10,000 kicks metaphor, which effectively triangulates it. Incredible content. This particular move was a two-stage combo, two very simple moves regarding the Gaza situation to force the Arab world to deal with it, handle it, get their act together by saying it's going to be called Magaza now. 1. Habitually talk like you have an IQ of 95. Everything is either very bad or tremendous. Every sentence structure is simple and straightforward. No philosophy, no reducing things to first principles, no complex analysis. Talk like a midwit so people think you are a midwit. Door in the face technique is number 2. A compliance method so simple and well known it has a Wikipedia page. The door in the face technique, which I've talked about on this channel at least 3 times, by the way. Door in the face technique is a compliance method commonly studied in social psychology. The persuader attempts to convince the respondent to comply by making a large request that the respondent will most likely turn down, much like a metaphorical slamming of a door in the respondent's face. The respondent is then more likely to agree to a second, more reasonable request than if that same request is made in isolation. By the way. And by the way, I pointed out that this is masculine persuasion technique. This is not feminine persuasion technique. It generally doesn't work on women, and it doesn't generally work when a woman does it. Except Trump is so good at wielding the simple weapon that he doesn't need to make a second request. He just says a crazy thing, and everyone who's not paying attention believes he wants a crazy thing because they think he's insane. He didn't say insane. He used a different word that would get me banned from YouTube. Then they fall over themselves trying to suggest a reasonable alternative, which ends up being pretty much the actual thing Trump wanted all along. It's that simple. He does it again and again, and it works again and again because the people who hate him desperately want to think he's dumb. They succumb to the temptation of flattering their own egos instead of keeping their eyes on the prize. This makes him easy to manipulate. And by the way, if you're dealing with bad faith people, you want them easy to manipulate. You want them easy for you, a person operating in good faith, to be able to get out of the way. Okay, go to safety. You're going to hurt yourself and other people. Okay, let's go over here. Come on, over here. Come on. That needs to be the approach that a good faith persuader has when dealing with manipulators who live in a reality-free zone. That is the incredible content from today, and I think you might have learned a lot. The door in the face technique with, let's say, catastrophizing language, nuance-free language. Masculine persuasion, it works when men do it, and it works when men do it to men. I have a video on masculine versus feminine persuasion techniques. I hypothesize that it doesn't work as well on women because what happens is they're overwhelmed with anxiety, and that results in paralysis, action paralysis. So they're literally unable to do anything, including the thing you want them to do. That's my hypothesis. If I'm wrong, let me know in the replies. I'm okay with being wrong.